Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Man, been a while since I've done this. Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood host, that guy Frankie, yours truly, back with an interview for this year. It's been quite some time since my last video and interview, and today I am joined by none other than Ricardo from Modern Tales Productions, the director of Pathogen, and I've got just a few questions to ask him, but before I do that, you want to introduce yourself over here, Ricardo?
Hi everybody, my name is Ricardo Garcia. I am the writer-director of Pathogen, and I am excited to be here today and talk about Pathogen with Frankie. Frankie has been hitting me up for a while now to talk about this movie, and I'm excited to show him a little bit of the film today.
Before we go into the questions too, for anyone that doesn't know or follow us both on Instagram, I actually ran into Ricardo back, I think in, was it Tempe or Chandler, I think last year, and it was at Gen Barbecue also. It was like barbecue, I think.
It was so random. I was there with my friends on vacation, and then I just look over and I see Frankie walking by. I was like, "Is that Frankie?" And so yeah, that was super cool the first time we met.
I was like fanboying the entire time too. I was like, "There's no fucking way he's here." And then I messaged him, and then I see him in person. You're fucking tall compared to me, so I'm like looking up, and I'm like, "Holy shit, holy shit!" What made you want to make a film on Dead Space? And why the name Pathogen also for it?
Okay, so let's see. So back in about 2020, I finished a movie called Room 146, and I just got out of the military, and I started truck driving. I was doing cement truck driving, and for about a year there, I didn't write or make any films, and I was just getting sad that I didn't make any. I wasn't making films, and so I was like, okay, what can I do to get myself back, and make something? And then I see that they were remaking Dead Space, and I was like, oh wow. I'm like, Dead Space, I love Dead Space. I have Isaac Clarke tattooed on me,
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. I actually had access to a abandoned mall in San Diego at the time. I had a friend that worked there, and he was like, yeah, I can get you guys into the mall, and we can go shoot a film there. And I was like, dude, I'm like, all I can do is I get the Isaac suit, I get a slasher, like make somebody make a slasher suit, we get in the mall, we make it really creepy, we can make it do like a Dead Space 2 type of thing, and so I started writing this thing as just a quick little action short. And then the more that I actually was away from, my wife actually just had my son too at the time. So the more I got stretched away from my family, the more, I don't know, the story about the isolation of being away from your family kind of like started to resonate with me with how Isaac and Nicole. And so I was like, dude, like this story is just sparking to me. So I just started writing. And then I took Dead Space. I'm like, we have something really good here. I'm like, I decided to follow along the story, like right in the beginning of the game, with a few little added elements to it to, make it my own little adaptation, but stay as faithful as we can to the project. And for me, this film is extremely personal. It's beautiful. And I can't say much more about it other than I can't wait to show it to you guys. And as far as Pathogen goes, I chose it because it was like another way of saying like infected or contaminated without being so like how most movies sometimes will be like say like some kind of title. I was like, Pathogen sounds really, really kind of cool, so it didn't have anything really to do with the story in itself, but I can't call it Dead Space. And for me, Pathogen was as close as I can be to telling people like, this is an infection. There's something going on here. This is sci-fi. Let's get to it,
To add on that, I do agree with you. Like, Pathogen does just sound like weird, cool, and like creepy also. Like, it's an infection, like you're saying. So like, I feel like it makes it more like, or not makes it more, I feel like it's like unique for it too, because usually with like other fan films, they'll just stay with like the base name, but they won't really do anything to it. But then there's films, especially with yours now also, a lot of people want to like make theirs like pop even more just to get more eyes and attention to it, instead of just calling it something like Spider-Man Brand New Day 52 or some shit.
No, I wanted to distinguish itself from its own movie. Like, it's Dead Space, but this is Pathogen. This is its own movie,
No, and I completely get it. What was the editing process like, and was it brutal anytime on set?
Okay, so editing wise, the film, yes, not because for the reasons we shot this thing beautifully. Like
Yeah.
we had a great time shooting. We shot it over 5 days, six if you can count pre-light. So we had no issues. Like we got everything we needed to in those 5 days. As far as the editing goes, it was on me personally. I am a perfectionist when it comes to editing. That's what I do. That's what my main job is. I love editing. I've always loved editing. So I actually cut this film 4 times. So I have 4 different cuts of the film, and so the first time I did it, I was like, "Cool, this is the skeleton," and then next one, and then next one, and then on the third one, I remember going like, "Okay, cool, I have it. This is Pathogen's done," and I watched it. Like I took a break, came back and watched it, and I was like, "It's still not there. There's something not hitting," and so I came back and I spent another month or two fixing up those little details until we finally got to the definitive cut. So there was a lot of nights and a lot of mental stuff going on there to get this film done. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it. It was 100% worth it.
To add on to that, also, how faithful can fans expect this movie to be?
It's faithful as much as I can have it be.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay as faithful as I can because I think, like Guillermo del Toro said it perfectly with his Frankenstein movie. Adapting something is like marrying a widow. You have to respect the late husband, but you got to know how to get down on a Saturday night
Yeah.
or something along those lines. And so for me, I'm also a person that says like, I want to. What's the best way to put this? I wanted to add just a little bit of difference to differentiate. It's like if
Yeah.
you want to play the original game, you can get the original story on the remake or the original. And yes, I do follow that story to a T, but there is little elements in the story that I have changed just for dramatic effect, and it's up to the audience if they like it or not. And I'm excited to see what people say about that.
And I feel like with that too, it's like you want to also make it like your own in your way too. So
Mhm.
I do get that take too. No, or what is it? Because I've seen like the trailers and the teasers. I feel like for as faithful as it'll get, I mean, just judging by some of the scenes alone, it looks really horrifying. So like the horror element is already there, and I'm just like, I'm expecting to either like shit my pants honestly during some scenes because Dead Space is one of those games that I still play where the jump scares still get me. I don't know what it is. It's a game that I still love to play, but even then, the jump scares, it feels like my mind forgets. But then, as soon as it happens, I'm like, great. Now I'm fucking scarred again for life. I can play Silent Hill 2. I can play Resident Evil. I get annoyed with Silent Hill 2, even though I love it. I fucking hate puzzles. I genuinely hate puzzles in a game. But Dead Space is just one of those where I can just boot it back up, have fun, but like genuinely get scared again, like if you were to get stoned for the first time. It's like it's like experience that you want to have.
And that's for me when people watch this movie, and that's what I hope you get. Like I I really hope that you just feel what Isaac feels, the anxiety, the dread. Like you're gonna feel the atmosphere, and at the end of the day, when you finish this movie, I want you to feel exhausted. I hope that you come out feeling like, I can't believe I just experienced that.
Yeah.
Like that's the hopeful, with every movie. And as far as like trying to keep it as scary as the game, that was my goal. I tried to make it as scary as possible, and I guess time will tell.
To add onto that, I know we were talking about prosthetics. Was it at any time on set, like using prosthetics, was it difficult or was it pretty easy? And then did you
Oh,
rely
okay.
on CGI like a good amount of time, or was it more prosthetics versus CGI?
So we went fully practical with this movie. We shot on location. We had a real suit built for Isaac. We used a real plasma cutter, real. And so I wish that'd be cool, but no, we built. We had a guy build all of our necromorphs. Yes, multiple. So we went fully with this, and that was my envision from the start, was that I could not do this movie and be happy with it if we went full CGI, because I'm a product of somebody who grew up watching old horror movies. I've studied them and I rewatched them over and over again, and it's like, though you can just tell the art in the old days, even when they weren't that good. Some movies weren't that great back then, but you could tell the care and the love that these guys put into it, especially in the makeup department. And that's what I want to see. I want this film to stand up. When you watch this 5-10 years down the line and you look at the prosthetics and all the makeup and everything we did and all the creatures, I want it to still hold up, and I think it will. As far as difficulty goes, I think the only thing there was, I would say, difficulty for the actors, because there's one guy who had to get makeup on all day. He has this really nasty face with like hands coming out of it. So he had to sit in a chair for a couple hours with that. And then it's funny enough that the dude who actually who built the suits, he was the one that actually played our main slasher in the thing. So he built the suit around him, and then he just messaged me one day. He's like, "Hey, do you have an actor who's gonna be this monster?" And I said, "No, not yet. We're looking for one." He goes, "You want me to do it?" All right, dude, come on in. And the cool thing was that he was this lengthy guy, so it fit perfectly. It was so cool. And we also built these. I don't want to give it all away, but we have these little nasty worms in the film that we use.
Because I remember seeing that in the trailer. Like, that's what I meant earlier. Where like it's like the trailers were so really cool, and like I feel like I don't know, like seeing those little worms even in the game itself, I'm like, they're gonna fucking do it, aren't they? They're gonna, and oh god.
I'm excited. So, and it's so funny because you asked me what was the difficulty. There was one scene. Okay, we had 1 hour left, and I believe it was either day 2 or day 3, and we're shooting scene 2, and there's a scene where we're trying to pull the worm, and we're trying to make it look really cool, and the string just kept snapping. Bang! Try to retouch it. Takes another good 2 minutes. All right, ready, go, and snap. Here we go. Oh, dude, we can't get it. And then we finally get it, and it's not looking good. And we're just sitting there like, dude, we still have 2 other scenes to shoot in this next hour. Like, this was supposed to be done like a minute ago. So we were all rushing. And luckily, like at the last second, we finally got it and we made it work. And we're like, cool, let's move on. So that was the only difficult part, I would say, would be that, and giving Jonathan, which is the man who played the slasher and made the suits, giving him water, because we were like, "You good in there? Like, can you breathe? Can you see?" Because you saw from the mask when I showed you a second ago, like the eyes are it was hard to see out of. So, I mean, we're gonna have to ask Jonathan about that, how his experience was playing that slasher. But I mean, if anything, we gotta talk to the man who played Isaac, Maxwell Marcus. That dude's a champ, bro. Like the helmet had just this little sliver of a vision to see through. So he basically had to learn to basically be blind on this whole set. And I was just like, dude, you're a real one for this.
He basically just experienced what it's like being a Spider-Man cosplay. You cannot see out of those damn lenses. So yeah, he's a champ. He's getting brownie points from you. Right?
Huge champ, bro. Like, the fact that he learned the whole spaceship without even seeing anything, you would never know. I'm like, dude, that's an amazing actor, man.
Did you guys ever have to like reshoot any scenes, or was everything just like, okay, one take we're good, or like any multiple takes for it?
Oh yeah, well, when you're shooting, you definitely want to take a couple takes, so especially in the drama section. So when actors are talking, I like to take a couple takes, unless we nail it right away. There was but as far as like coming back days later and trying to reshoot something, no, we shot everything in those 5 days. We made sure we were not coming back. I was like, dude, once we're done with this shoot, like, we're done. I'm not coming back. Sometimes there is things that happen in shoots when like things just happen magically. Like in the first take, you're not going to believe you just got it. There's a scene at the very end of the movie when we flip the camera. Like, we do this really cool like flipping shot with the camera, and the cinematographer nailed it on the first take. I remember watching it, and he's like, "You want to do it again?" I said, "Nope." I said, "That's perfect." I said, don't look at it." I said, I saw it right away. Like, we're good. We're move on. And that's the best feeling in the world as a director. It's when everybody's just on point, everything just hits on that first take, and you're like, dude, I don't even need to see it again. Like, you're good. Let's go. So that was the one for me that was just like, yeah.
What can fans expect from Pathogen going forward?
I'm really hoping for a TV show. I have made a pitch book. I have the story ready. I know where we would go with it. I have an idea of the actors I would want to cast for this, and what in reality is I really want to take this to Apple. Apple's my number one streaming service to take this to. They have yet to enter into the video game adaptation TV show market. So I think, especially because Apple loves their sci-fi, their sci-fi shows. So you come out with a Dead Space show that's sci-fi horror into the quality of like Last of Us. I think it would be amazing. It's the story's there. We have 3 seasons that you can go from the mainline games. Even if we want to go to, I've even thought about, we could even do like a spin-off with like the Dead Space mobile game. I forgot what the protagonist's name in that is, but that's a great story too. I remember playing that on the iPhone 3. Like, dude, I couldn't believe they made Dead Space for iPhone. But there's so much story there, like between the unitology, dude, and the corruption, and then finding out, like, everything that is playing. It's so much more than just Isaac needs to go save Nicole. Like, the story in Dead Space can easily be adapted to TV, and I think it should. And I think that we could easily do it.
There's like a well that's been untapped with Dead Space. There's like so much stories that you can go off of also. I know that not everyone loves like the animated film that came out years ago. I like parts of it just because for what it tried doing. I feel like it did something, but could have been better. And with Apple also, I feel like that would be a really good source if you were to get the TV show there, especially with like the love that we're seeing with video game adaptations, whether it's film. I feel like the biggest ones right now are either HBO for like The Last of Us. For all the shit that like season 2 gets, it's still like, what is it? I'm trying to figure out a way to like phrase this. People still want to see like their video games be adapted however it is. It may suck that like the second season is that way, but we're at least seeing it. And then I think Fallout's the perfect example of like the show that like came out of nowhere, that's like faithful as it can be, but doing its own thing with like new characters that we don't even have in any of the games, while referencing like events from either New Vegas, Fallout 3, and even Fallout 4 now recently.
I have yet to start season 2, but season 1 was absolutely fantastic. And dude, I would love to work on Fallout. Fallout is, dude, yeah, I agree with you. Coming out of nowhere and just blowing it out of the water, dude. I was, from episode 1, I was like, these guys know what they're doing. They're fans. Yeah. They love this franchise, and dude. So I got to hop on season 2.
I feel like if you were to get like the Apple deal for the show, I feel like if you guys have someone like you guys, obviously there, you guys know what you're talking about. You love the series, you love the games. Mm-hmm. The fact that you know so much about the lore, and I'm still new into all this, like, I would know that if you were to work on there, this would be a show that would be safe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh, this is just my personal question to you. How gory can we expect the kills to be? Because, like, seeing all those prosthetics, man, I was like, okay, this has got to look like The Thing. This is going to end up being like The Thing or something 80s-inspired horror where, like, it's just, oh.
So, unfortunately, because the studio restricted us from going super gory, we had to be careful with our gore. Yeah. That's how I'll put it. So there is gore, but we had to be careful with it because they were like, if you get it on, we can't get it on our walls, you're gonna have to pay for it. And I was like, okay, like we'll be careful. So we had a lot of tarps, so we had a lot of stuff up. So we were as gory as we could be. I'll put it as that. And trust me, but if we get money though, if we get a studio budget, we're gonna go ham. There, I'll tell you what. I'll give you actually a little cool insight because I'm actually gonna make a whole video about this one day. I have my whole storyboards from the original actual script from Pathogen. So in the original script, we were actually supposed to have a guardian, which is, I'm not sure if that would know what that one is. That's the wall creature that looks pregnant and it shoots stuff at you. It has the tentacles that sticks on the wall and it screams. Yeah, you have to shoot off the little tentacle. Yeah. So we actually had that contracted with Jonathan, the creature design, to make one of those. And we were going to have it on the wall, and we were going to have a puppeteer, and he was going to be like, I actually was funny enough, I was going to play the head that was on top of it because I always do little cameos in my movies. So I was going to be the one screaming, like, as Isaac was coming up, and we were going to have this nasty shot of, like, the little hole opening doing this and, like, contracting and stuff. It was supposed to be extremely disgusting. But the budget couldn't call for it, so we had to scrap it. And it's funny because there actually is a couple other... this film was supposed to have a whole lot more necromorphs than we could actually get going, but that's why I said in another video we could talk about that because when the movie comes out, because I can share what scene was supposed to have what in what area. But it was. So I'm excited, man. If we can just get this as a TV show, dude, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a blast.
You better believe I'm gonna be there day one, man. I gotta be there.
Oh, dude,
I'm gonna be there. You're coming out to like Apple. You better give Ricardo Garcia and his crew a damn shot at a show. I swear to God. Thanks again for joining us, Ricardo, and for everyone that's tuning in. This is your boy, that guy Frankie. Yours truly signing off. If anyone wants to follow Ricardo on his socials, I'll add them right here down below. If you want to shout him out right now, Ricardo, feel free. You have the time.
Yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at RG_MTP, or you can follow the Modern Tales at Modern Tales Productions. I'm also on TikTok as the same username, and YouTube at Modern Tales Productions.
I'll have everything down there below for you guys. Thank you again. Hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Frankie.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond.